Hey guys, so in today's video we are going to be creating a black and glittery gold look for New Year's Eve. This was very highly requested, so I hope that you guys all enjoy it. Starting out, I'm going to go straight in and do my brows. I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade to do this, and I'm doing this before my foundation because we are playing with glitter. And as per, I think I mentioned it in a tutorial earlier this week, when you are playing with glitter, there's no point in putting foundation on first because it literally goes everywhere. And I like to do my brows first because I find that it makes eyeshadow easier to do if you've got, you know, like your, I guess you could say the frame in which you are to work within. Now going in and priming my eyes using the MAC Pro Longwear Paint Pot in Soft Ochre as always, and all of the shadows that we're using today are from the Too Faced Chocolate Gold palette. I did do a full review on this, it's absolutely amazing. First I'm taking this shade here, this is called Rolling in Dough. It's just a matte white bone kind of colour, just setting that one all over the lid to set down that primer. And then going in with So Bougie, I absolutely love the shade names, they're adorable. This one is a really beautiful transition color. It is like a lighter, cooler tone brown, and I'm being very careful to pack that on and really buff that one up and out into the crease and out towards the brow bone. Now taking Chocolate Truffle, or I think it's Cocoa Truffle actually, sorry, and I'm working this one a little bit heavier through the outer crease, outer corner, and I'm also buffing it towards the inner corner of my eyes. The eyeshadow look that we are doing today is actually a halo eyeshadow look, and the best thing that you can do when doing a halo look to make, to make sure that you don't look like you've been punched in the face is to really spend extra time blending. So I'm now taking Decadent, which is the black matte shadow from the palette, and using very small amounts of product at a time, I'm going to gradually start building in the deep dark shadow. So first starting on the outer corner to get a rough guide of how far up I want that to travel. I'm keeping it pretty close within my crease, blending it a little bit upwards and outwards, and then what I'm going to do is start dragging it across the top of the crease area, leaving the center of my lid free, and then buffing it onto the inner corner. You'll see here that I've switched to a smaller blending brush. I think this is the Sigma E35 maybe. I'll link it down below, and on that smaller brush I first go in with that medium brown, buff at the inner corner of my eye, then go in with the black and buffing away again. I swap to a smaller brush because I have small eyes. If you've got bigger eyes and more lid space, you may not need to. Now with a flat shader brush, I am packing that same black eyeshadow on the inner and outer corners of my lids, and then going back in with a fluffy blending brush and buffing out the edges. To get this to look as clean and neat as possible, the best way to do it is apply small amounts of black eyeshadow, buff it, then apply more, then buff it, then apply more, and then buff it. Now going in with the NYX white eyeshadow base, I'm going to be packing this one onto the center of my lid. Don't worry too much about being super careful with this one at this point. We are going to go back in with a blending brush and sort of, buff out those edges. For now, we just really want to pack on that white, and then once you've got it on, I'm going back in with that small blending brush again and really softening up the edges. We're going to do this more again once we've got the gold eyeshadow on, but yeah, before it sets, it's really good to kind of just, buff them out a bit. Now there are 3 really amazing gold eyeshadows in this palette, and I had a fairly hard time choosing. I ended up going with that bottom more bronzy one there, and with a very small synthetic brush I am just going to be packing that one all over that white eyeshadow base. Again, not being too crazy careful or neat because we do come in and buff it back in later, but this gold eyeshadow, you could either leave it as is, or the next step I actually start applying a gold glitter, so this kind of more acts as a base. I'll link the review video that I did on this palette below. It is honestly so beautifully pigmented and metallic, it's just next level. Now going back in with that small blending brush, I'm pretty sure it's the E35. If you haven't got a small blending brush like this, you need one. I do have a full best brushes video coming, I promise. I've perfected it, I've been working on it, and it is coming soon, but it just makes it so easy to blend the crease and small areas like this. So yeah, really buff out the edges of that gold. Then we're going to go in with a gold glitter. Now there are so many different brands that do gold glitters. There are so many on the market, so you choose which one you prefer. I'm actually going to be mixing 2 glitters for this look. I'm first packing on the gold glitter by NYX, and it's kind of like a deeper sort of bronzier gold, and then I'm packing on the gold glitter by MAC on top, and you'll notice that it creates a really cool gradient effect to the glitter, and it just makes it look even more 3D and cool. Now, eyeliner. Again, totally your choice. As I always say, I'm doing a wing for this look today because I find that it kind of neatens everything up. you don't want to do it, you don't have to, or you could simply just tightline if you prefer. So yeah, dragging out a nice wing towards the tip of my brow, filling it in, and then we're going to move on to the lower lash line. Now, because there's so much going on my lid and I do have sort of smaller petite eyes, I'm going to keep the lower lash line fairly light. You could definitely smoke the lower lash line out with a bunch of black eyeshadow and it would look totally amazing, but I didn't really want to close my eyes down, and I also wanted to keep all of the attention focused on that gold glitter on the center of my lid. So I've used mostly that darker brown shadow from the palette, and then I've used a tiny little bit of black on the outer corners to kind of just deepen it up a little. Now this is exciting. This is the first time that I am sneak peeking my luxury 3D silk lashes that are launching very, very soon. I've been working my little butt off on these. They are going to be launching early in the new year, so keep your eyes peeled on Nikkia Joy Cosmetics, the Instagram page, and also on the nikkiajoycosmetics.com website. So yeah, these are one of the styles. I'm so happy with them. They're so fluffy and amazing, and yeah, they're just very comfortable. Again, all of the lashes are about comfort because I have got watery bitch-ass little eyes, let me tell you. Another trick that I'm doing here to get my eyes to look bigger and less closed in is to use a light eyeliner. What am I doing? What is this? A white eyeliner on my inner waterline just to keep them nice and bright, wide, awake, and open. I really can't talk today. I can't. Now we're going to be zipping through the skin pretty quick because you guys have seen me do this a million times. So first I used the MAC Prep and Prime Skin Base Primer. I'm then going in with the NARS Sheer Glow Foundation. Then following that up with a concealer. This is the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer. Now I'm going to be using this on a blending eyeshadow brush and focusing a large amount of that concealer on the inner corners of my eyes. When you do have a dark smoky eye like this, the worst thing that you can do is leave shadows on the inner corners of your eyes and underneath your eyes. It makes the whole eyeshadow look messy. It makes it look like you're being punched in the face. So yeah, take extra time to conceal those dark circles and dark areas, and then buff it and blend it out into the foundation. The powder that I'm using today is the Too Faced Born This Way powder. This is a really nice, soft, translucent powder. It's wonderful for baking, and it's also really great on oilier skin types, so you are good to go, girl. Again, because I've focused extra attention on concealing the inner eye and sort of around the eye area, I'm again then taking extra care to make sure that that concealer is set, because the last thing that you want on New Year's Eve is creasing. Hell no, sister. Now, because the eyes have got so much going on, I'm going to I'm going to keep the cheeks very bronzy and glowy and kind of not too overboard. So I'm first taking this MAC bronzer in Give Me Sun, and I'm just using that to sort of warm up my face. I'm also buffing that one through the lower lash line as well, just to buff out from where we've applied the concealer. Then the blush that I'm using is MAC Warm Soul. This is again a really soft bronzy kind of finish. It's not too overpowering, and it's not going to distract from the glittery black and gold eyes that we've got going on. Then the highlighter that I'm using, I'm keeping it gold. I'm using Champagne Pop by Becca. Oh my gosh. This stuff is seriously next level. And I'm pretty sure later on I packed on Fenty Trophy Wife on top. Not gonna lie, I went a little overboard with the highlighter. But it's New Year's Eve, and if I'm not gonna glow like a firework, I can't do it tonight, when can I? Then I'm taking this liquid lipstick by Anastasia Beverly Hills. I feel like this one is like Milkshake or something. Anyway, I applied it and it seemed a little bit too light, so I then took this lip pencil by GERARD Cosmetics. This is the color Ecstasy, I think, I'm pretty sure. I'll link it down below. You can use the coupon code JOY to get 30% off as always, as well as this setting spray. Best setting spray for setting down oily skin or just any makeup that you're wanting to keep in place all night. It really does work. But yeah, I use that lip pencil to kind of darken out the outer corners of my lips and get the lip shade to kind of match my skin tone a bit more. But here is the finished look, guys. I hope you really love it. It was highly requested, like I said. Lots of glitter, lots of excitement for New Year's Eve. Happy New Year's to you all. I hope you'll have an amazing time with friends and family, and I will see you next year. I love you guys, and yeah, I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye!